different kind of beautiful, you know.
No,
And
definitely.
it'd be something that I would love to see him reprise in a later campaign. Is that kind of character arc.
Yeah.
And of course, like stream wise, Kite's been the only one that anybody's seen Ty play. But like off screen,
yeah.
last couple of years, it's been a lot of Kite adjacent characters.
Yeah.
That Ty's played really leans into that kind of character archetype right now. But it used to be the Shovel Knights and stuff that he would do. And Shovel Knight was originally brought in to a horror campaign.
That's lovely. I love that so much.
It was like Outlast themed. And his buddy Aaron ran it.
And it was just a happy little dude.
And it was just this happy little guy that just didn't quite fully understand what was going on.
Something's running after him with a knife, and he thinks like they're coming in for a hug. There's hello, friend.
Yeah, and it was literally like
other party members are like, Jesus Christ, get down.
We put spikes on his armor, and we would use him as like a door for like lesser enemies. You know, it's like a zombie horde's coming your way, and it's like, okay, we've got a dwarf in full plate with 2 helmets on, like some back spikes. We're gonna put him up there, and we are going to scream as the zombies like shred themselves on his backplate while we look for the escape, kind of thing. It was wonderful, and trying to like play. Everybody else is playing, you know, rogues and monks and stuff with like true utility built into the class, and his utility was just like, my shovel digs fast.
I am door.
Yeah, and I'm a door, and it was so fun to play a horror campaign where stealth and utility and puzzle solving skills were key, and 1/4 of your party was just kicking doors open. Hello.
No, that's like one of the main things that like I'm enjoying about the My Hero game is like you have Wyatt and Adriana that are like they're the serious half of the campaign.
Yeah.
And it's funny that it works out that like they're on one side of the table and then Bigums and Kite are on the other.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh god, it's
always good because like Kite takes the situation seriously, but in his own way.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And Adriana on Proxy has been just prime. Those type of characters, Ito also played a lot into that, but with the portal quirk, it was maybe a little too strong almost, and you kind of forgot that like Adriana had this wild personality about her and this wild way of like how she's going to handle social interactions with NPCs and how much shit she's going to take, kind of deal, because she plays Ito and Proxy very similarly.
Yeah.
Personality wise, like at the kind of base character archetype that it is. And Wyatt, it was great because he started as this kind of just like, fuck it, whatever, my parents sent me here, my quirk is god awful, but maybe these people will help me control it, kind of thing, to, oh shit, I really want to be a hero and help people and like atone for the kind of shitty kid that I was through my youth, to, oh, the heroes are totally inept and all of these villains are starting to get wise to that fact and starting to take advantage of that, of the, you know, the pure bonus that you get for violence of action. And so he was like, well, if you want to, you know, you're going to fuck with me that way, then let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's go on ahead and just fully take the gloves off and go with it. And that's where he's at now. And it's been a beautiful transition now for a Gruesome Tale with the kind of DMing style that I've got opposed to Tafa. It works out really well, I think.
Yeah. And then you got fucking Bigums, who's also that like, fuck, just give him a task.
Yeah.
That's all he's looking for. He won't come up with a task.
It's also fun because it's, you know, in Bigum's only, it's been a couple of sessions, but we very heavily, and because I know a good deal of Bigum's backstory from the previous attempt at the My Hero campaign with him off stream, that he shows up with this real almost chip on his shoulder. I'm a big kid and I do big kid shit kind of deal, and then I get to shoot you in the fucking leg.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great. It's fucking great. Cause again, I enjoy the like the character development aspect of like these campaigns. Like again, like we've seen like early on what Oozle was versus what Oozle is now, and then like the changes of Bigums where he's like, that motherfucker turned off my quirk. I didn't really know what to do about that because they have guns.
Session 1, I don't care how many enemies they are, send me. I'll beat you there to medic!
Corbin!
But we are not in My Hero Academia. Welcome back to Mad King, everybody.
Hello. We need to make that like a soundbite. It's just either me or Ty just yelling, Corbin!
I could get a soundbite of that. It'd be better if we did a separate recording of it. Oh, it's just my phone that's frozen. Okay. I was like, oh shit, stream's froze, but it was just my phone is
we could do
not
that.
great for monitoring chat.
We could do that. It's so fun. So you got me and Kite just being absolute monsters and getting fucked up because of it, and then it's like, Wyatt, save us!
I think for the most part, I think the rework we did for Kite's quirk really puts him in that sweet spot of where Ty wants to play him.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's going to be a campaign where you got to pick your encounters kind of carefully because I'm gonna softly try to kill you every time. You know?
Because they have guns.
And I kind of talked to Wyatt a little bit at the gym about it, where it's like, hey, you know, just like in Mad King, the enemies are paying attention to what you do. This is not My Hero, the movie or whatever, where every villain comes in and it's like, who are you snot-nosed kids that have been on the news 47 times and that we're on national television all the time, always showcasing their quirks constantly. I have no idea what you do, but I don't care because I'm so powerful. It's like, no, these motherfuckers know. You know, you put not you bigums, but the UA kids put probably like 60% of the reoccurring villains now that are coming up in a Gruesome Tale. The named villains, they put almost every single one personally in jail. You know?
Love that.
And so it's one of those effects of, you know, when they're coming back, it's not we don't know who you are, we don't care who you are. It's
you motherfucker put me in jail.
You did this to me and I'm out for revenge, you know. And the I liked the MHA manga through the war arc for a bit, and then I felt like they kind of fucked it up. A lot of the things with the Detonaret company, with Redestro, with a lot of those characters and the way that they operated, I felt was much better writing than just the League of Villains. And then the part where I disagree is then they had the League of Villains totally topple them in like a couple chapters and then they melded together, but still those characters in a pretty major way were more impactful, in my opinion, and funner to watch than the League of Villains characters.
No, that's fair. I'm still so far behind on My Hero, and now that I'm playing in this,
they come at it from that position of like, oh yeah, we've been sitting in the weeds for decades, slowly building up these mega corporations and stuff so that we have the funds and we have the reach and we have the people and manpower to do something, to truly do something on a nationwide scale. They fail miserably right out the gate, but you know, I'm not doing that. That's not my
yeah. These motherfuckers been planning.
You guys arrested the motherfuckers that put them down, you know, like they're free to roam now.
Well,
and so playing that different style of villain too for the My Hero world is very fun. What happened last session? Back to Mad King. To Mad King.
We are at the Kobold Tower.
The Kobold Tower?
Or / Onhurst Tower. We've made our way.
Yes.
We've made our way down to the forbidden levels. And there's
the first forbidden level.
Yeah, and there's a Sphinx that's asking questions.
Yeah, well, he's not necessarily asking questions.
He told us to leave, and now we got to be like, hey, listen.
You gotta go. Currently in your party, you've got Mark and Alia and Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's not going to be of much use now that you're already in the underground section, but you know, the ship is currently circling around up top. Finn's hanging out there. You got provisions, but don't spend a month down here. You don't have those kind of provisions. Finn does.
Yeah. I got some, like, hardtack, but, like...
That's right, they did find the Shrek goo.
Ah!
Not from Shrek. TM.
Yeah. That's kind of where what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, the kobolds acted weird.
Yeah, they're being all weird.
Flint abandoned you down here.
Yeah, after he was like, "Oh yeah, no, like
he's like, I'll help you out.
yeah,
a
I'll
little
help
bit,
you out,
kinda
and like if we
deal,
see anything weird, like I'll
Yeah.
handle it." And then
he went down some ground rules, and then the Sphinx showed up. He's like, nope.
yeah.
You know what? No.
He said, "I'm good."
This is take my instruction. This is how you handle this situation. And he turned around and went right back up those fucking stairs.
And his way to handle the situation was leave.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Listen, no, like we gotta,
Hey, look,
we gotta
if
do
you
this
guys
thing."
don't, if you guys don't heed his instructions, that's on you at this point. He taught you how to handle this. So yes, the Sphinx stands before you. You may stay, but you must go.
Huh?
Like leave this floor.
Leave this temple.
No.
But if any knowledge is acquired here, it must remain here, and therefore you shall remain with it.
Got it. We are trying to return stolen knowledge.
Knowledge may be left here. No knowledge is stolen from here. To which then it tilts its head. 5 enter, 6 gods boon, and most of the Pantheon watches you. Why truly are you here?
Knowledge was stolen from this temple and used to give my grandmother magical dementia. And I am seeking a way to restore her to her previous state by retracing the steps of whoever stole the information that could possibly still be here.
There are many tomes with many magics below. You may read to your heart's content, but make sure that your heart's content will take the rest of your life. For when you begin, you may not end. If you wish to leave knowledge here, you may freely, but the tomes remain, the knowledge remains. Always has it been, always shall it be.
So how did this knowledge leave?
The knowledge does not leave. The knowledge remains always, and those with it remain always. Do you you're like pulling out the paper?
Yeah.
The Sphinx seems like completely uninterested in whatever paper you're pulling out.
I don't have the brain power right now. Okay. Thank you.
Do not thank me, for I am your only warning and may be your forever guard.
Roger that. Can we like shuffle past him?
He's not necessarily standing in your way.
Okay.
He is landed kind of amongst this maze of lower bookshelves, and you are on that kind of raised dais with the spiral staircase. On that dais as well, it's very large, maybe 40 something foot in diameter. There's like desks, reading desks. There's lanterns that can be hung above them. Some have tomes on them that are opened. Some are stuffed with loose paper, ink, and quill, and are blank.
I'd like to before we shuffle past, I'd like to ask the Sphinx, when was the last time somebody came down here?
3 minutes ago.
Besides us. You had me for a second there. I was like, timey-wimey bullshit? And I was like, wait, you're just being an ass. Besides us, when was the last time somebody came down here?
It is hard to judge time without sun or stars. It may be moons. It may be weeks. It may be a year. But there are others that still remain alive within the maze of knowledge.
Well, how far down are those individuals?
One is spread amongst multiple floors, his thirst for knowledge encompassing and complete. Another sulks below. The exact floor I do not know. He carries with him a companion that, like yourselves, is still free to leave. There are also a spattering of individuals. They may not leave, but they chose this life for themselves and do not wish it, even if they could.
Okay. Do you have anything for the Sphinx?
Nope. Rock knows nothing. She can't offer his Sphinx anything. I'm gonna say that's cool.
Neat.
Walk past him.
Cool story, bro. You start like walking in.
As long as the Sphinx doesn't start asking her questions, she's good. She's sweating bullets, thinking like, "Oh, fuck a riddle."
You start like walking, and there is like a paw that kind of goes in your direction for a second, and it's just like, what knowledge do you choose to leave in the temple? It stays forever and remains forever.
Am I understanding correctly that we have to, like, in order for you to grant us passage to the lower levels, we have to offer some type of knowledge?
The only thing a man must do in life is die.
Unless you bring that person back to life, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Still died.
I mean, yeah. Fair enough. I guess it's not specified that they must remain dead.
Oozle's particularly crafty at checkers.
Is he?
Yes, as of right now.
It's been a long-standing hobby of Oozle's.
He likes playing checkers.
All of those late nights alone in the tent outside of the temple that they didn't allow you to sleep inside. You're just playing checkers alone.
Yeah.
You've got great strategies, but they only work against yourself.
So I think I'm pretty damn good at checkers. I offer my checkers knowledge.
Like you start telling it to the Sphinx.
I mean, I guess.
Why do you say these things to me?
You asked.
What are you doing, little man? Your words are not a tome, and tomes are not your words.
So you need it in a tome.
We can write it down. We can find
I
parts.
can write it down. There's quills and ink over here. Yeah, I'll go.
You walk over to one of the desks, you sit down, you start writing about checkers strategies. Perfect.
I'll give it to the Sphinx.
I do not collect the parchment.
I'm just like, leave it on a table. All right, my job's done.
Rack's gonna write down how to hawk a loogie 10 yards.
With like drawings to illustrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Illustrations. Very technical.
Very technical.
with sniper-like precision.
Mark writes something down. He seems to really take some time and thought into it.
Probably something sad.
Alia is just like, what the fuck? Ursula, what do I write? I don't understand.
Something that you don't mind losing.
Something that I don't mind losing?
Oh, we're
That's-
losing this stuff?
That's kind of that is Marquise's assumption, because he said that like any like knowledge could be given but no knowledge could leave. So if you give the knowledge to the library, that knowledge stays in the library. That's just my thought.
Rack's gonna be really upset in the next Luffy Hawking.
The next loogie hawking contest, she's just like all those skills are just gone.
You're gonna let out a string and she's gonna immediately like, flop right back on, just hit
dribble.
right on your bib. Yeah, it's just like, fuck. 0 yards, really?
Embarrassing.
Yep, that's yeah. So Alia just it's something. So there.
She
There-
goes and writes down a little story about her favorite ice cream flavors.
There you go. You can rediscover those. Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight kind of sits there and is like, friends, do you wish me to accompany you where there is no sand or dirt? Or do you wish for me to return to the surface with the small boy in the flying ship? There is much sand there, and I am comfortable inside.
You go on ahead. You go on ahead. You can head back.
There a little bit of DM thing there of how many NPCs I want to run in one go, but
Fair enough.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
sending Shovel Knight up for security is also a good idea in general.
All right, with the knowledge.
I'm going to go call my fiance. Yeah.
Gonna be fine.
I just remember the last session. We're just like, "Are you really doing this right now?" Oh god.
Brennan, I want you to think about last session and everything that I've said about this place and consider that comment. It's because nothing is original. Everything is stolen. Art is a lie. Okay. You guys proceed into the library. It's not necessarily well lit, but there are lanterns around that can be lit. You do see that there is no shortage of oil in them. Some of them, in fact, even just seem to be a magical enchanted light spell to turn on. You're walking past tomes, words on the spines. There doesn't seem to be any kind of discernible organization, but the bookshelves will have occasionally labels where it's, Huntress history 100 to 200 kind of deal. Ancient cookbook of the Northmen, tribe that you've just never heard of before. There's just a random assortment of things, and sometimes the collections are kind of labeled. Sometimes the labels, if you look and then look at the spines of the books, do not seem to meld.
Somebody doesn't know how to put their shit back.
Yeah.
There's a system
So,
for a reason.
A lot of this stuff is in languages that you don't speak.
Speak a lot of languages. But yes. Okay. So my thought is that when you referred to there's one that's spread across many floors, has like the thirst for knowledge. I think that one has the best chance of being Chris, because he likes to do his fucking clone bullshit. I have no clue who the person and companion could be. Thoughts?
I say we go kidnap that guy that's not stuck here, because I think that would be fun. And also, yeah. Just
Thank you.
collecting friends.
Thank you for that glorious insight, Rat.
But no, I do think that one spread all over the place is your cousin.
This fucking asshole.
The weirdest one, so it's gotta
I'll pitch that same question to Mark if he has any ideas of like anybody we've ran into that could possibly be.
That has multiple personalities.
No. The one with the
A pair of two.
companion. Yeah,
I don't know,
pair
man.
of two.
It's a big world. Maybe there's like some huntress scholar and like her best friend here or something. We are still technically in their territory. Plus, the guy also said that there's a spattering of others through here, but seemed to downplay it like they weren't important. So, like, who knows how many people are here?
That's fair.
There's at least 4.
There is at least 4. There is at least 4.
That's one riddle solved.
Thanks, buddy. All right. Well, I'm gonna take some time on this level that we're at, going along, seeing if I can find anything that matches up with the thing that I've got.
Yeah, looking for like those runes.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a boy, knowledge arcana would really be the best, but I'll just accept a straight perception. Because those are magical runes that are carved on there.
That is gonna be a 25.
25. What are you looking for? What do you desire?
Rack's probably gonna ditch Uzo. Traverse
You're gonna
down.
split?
Yeah.
Do you announce that, or do you just like while Uzel's like looking at bookshelves, just like take a couple
Rack's
steps
gonna be
back
like, hey, I
and then-
wonder what's down there, and then just walk away without really waiting for an answer.
Hey man, Rex, splitting off on her own. You want me to follow her?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. You and Alia have fun looking at books that you're allegedly not gonna read.
Okay.
He turns around and, yeah, Mark will follow you. He gets up behind you and he's like, so, like, we've heard a couple of the rules. How do you think that we can bend them?
God damn it. That's where the hesitation was. I was like, Mark is so responsible until he gets around Rack.
Out of character for a moment. What were the rules again? I do not remember.
The Sphinx wants you to leave immediately, but you
That's
are
not
allowed
gonna
to
happen.
stay.
Okay.
You can leave any knowledge you desire, but you cannot take any from the
No
tomes.
worries. She doesn't want to learn anything.
And as far as you know, that's it.
Cool then.
Or I
Yep.
guess then it would be if you do take knowledge from the tomes, you are not allowed to leave. The knowledge must remain, is the exact wording.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's just gonna traverse downwards. Like, it's just downwards, right?
No, it's a flat floor.
Oh, flat floor.
But the bookshelves, they're relatively tall, sitting
Do I
10-ish
see
feet.
any, like, doorways, anything?
You have not found your way to a wall yet.
Huh?
It is expansive down here. You're talking a couple 100 yards across each direction for this room.
I'm gonna...
There are some massive pillars, kind of hodgepodged through. But other than that, you have not found any form of stairwell, even though you do know that there are lower levels past this, or like doorways into anything. Just this maze of bookshelves thus far.
I'm gonna call out just really loudly, like a hello. Call Yeah.
hello.
Nice echo.
There is an echo that comes back, and it's just shh, 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 shh.
Sorry.
This is library.
Hey, it's the echoing sorry that gets it.
Hey, this is library.
How tall are the bookcases?
About 10 foot.
I could probably climb one of those, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's got steady shelves right at book height. That's basically ladder rungs.
I'm gonna climb a bookshelf then.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if I can, I don't know, see anything of note, a wall, a door, anything.
Yeah, you get up on top of the bookshelf, and you're just kind of looking across. What was your perception roll?
I didn't make
Oh
one.
well, maybe you should.
I
That's an easy way to find things is to roll for it.
That's true.
Back from last session. Stop making me roll dice.
I didn't want this.
31.
31. You find that you are close enough to a far wall that you can see it. Finally, the totality of the wall is a bookshelf, and you see that there are ladders,
Okay.
not like evenly dispersed, but just every now and then there is a massive ladder that is going that 50-ish foot or whatever to the ceiling.
I'm gonna
But
make
from
my
that
way.
vantage, no doorways spotted.
I'll head towards the ladders. And how close are
Do you make towards the ladders by like going back down and worming your way
how close
through?
are the bookshelves together? Could I like walk on top of them?
You could not walk on top of them. You have but little legs. With a good acrobatics roll, though, you could jump between them.
That's probably not gonna happen.
Come on.
My dexterity is like one of my lowest.
Come on.
Standing below you, and he's like, "Make sure you stretch first. You don't want to pull a muscle."
Thanks, Dad.
I'm not a dad anymore.
God damn.
You know what? For the bit, yeah.
She said for the bit.
Come on. That's not great. 27.
27's great. What are you talking about?
It's
Yeah, it's not
I'm
the
an
most
overachiever.
graceful way, but honestly, it's probably faster hopping and trying to like hit long runs of bookshelves and moving across them than it is to try to navigate below and then every now and then climb up to get vantages. Mark joins you.
nice.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any problem keeping up.
Bitch.
He also has almost 2 feet on you, so or no, you're what? What'd you say? Like
4 foot.
you're 4 foot. Yeah, he's like 5'3" or something. So
Little shorty.
he's got a foot, almost foot and a half on you. So it's a little
Nice.
easier for him.
All right, nice. If I'm by the ladders, then I want to go up.
Yeah, you hit that far wall. Oozle. They are the rolly ladders, is what you see. There is an iron rail embedded in the ground that these things then sit upon, like a railroad track. And you can scoot them with great effort. You and Mark are strong boys, so it's not too terribly difficult for you. But they are well oiled, they are silent. And yeah, you can just like Belle and Beauty and the Beast, right? You can roll that ladder all across the bookcases.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have fun with that.
Oozle,
Yes.
you are hunting across, just kind of haphazardly, randomly wandering, looking for these symbols. Every now and then you come across either a bookshelf marker that has some runes on it. Every now and then you run across some books and just so happen to see on the spine some magical runes. You do not see anything that matches just yet.
So
After your first kind of 10 minutes of searching is kind of how I'm going to split this, I guess.
So I actually had a different idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause if Chris is here
Mm-hmm.
and he knows this spell, if I find him and nab him,
Mm-hmm.
I would not be taking any knowledge. I would just be taking him, and he's the one that knows the knowledge.
And he's the one that's not allowed to leave.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the Sphinx would only kill him.
Yeah.
Then you
But-
lose the knowledge.
But essentially, if I could sneak him out,
Uh-huh.
Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet.
Yeah.
But if I could sneak him out, then maybe the Sphinx could be bamboozled. 'Cause I didn't take any knowledge. I just took a
I
guy
totally
who
forgot.
knew the knowledge.
Brennan, thanks for resubscribing. Speaking of bamboozle.
Oh, I was wondering what that. I forgot to ask what that's
the
bamboozle
subscriber.
was.
That's the subscriber sound.
Glad you're sticking around. So yeah. Now Rack.
Rack's not, you turn around, you're like, now Rack, and she's gone.
Ah, yeah. That's
And Olia's like, you were just about to monologue about your brilliant plan, but half the party isn't here.
yeah.
Do you want me to try to go find them? I did hear a really loud hello just a little bit ago, but then it was silenced. I don't know if there's like repercussions for yelling out for your friends or anything, but you know, we could try to bring them back here.
that's probably Rack. So let's just head in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she kind of like turns around and she's like, what direction are we facing right now?
We got sending stones. I'm gonna ring up Rack.
It does not connect.
God damn it! I knew that was good. I should have known.
Should have expected that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's only been, I don't know. It hasn't been that long. We can't have gone that far. No, because I was reading that message and I was like, we could finagle something, but we would then lose the knowledge that like we need.
Possibly.
Or we just say balls to the wall, do what we want, and then we fight the Sphinx and get out of here.
You'll get no argument from me.
I know I won't. Ian's wide eyes says that's a terrible idea.
I'm just saying, how many D&D stories have you heard where the players chose to fight the Sphinx and it wound up as a happy ending? That's all I'm saying.
What if we don't fight the Sphinx?
You know,
we
it's
just run very fast.
maybe.
How big is this Sphinx?
Oh, I mean, he's a huge sized creature. 20-ish foot, something like that.
I don't think we're outrunning that.
But these are very narrow staircases. It can't chase us that high up.
Can't it?
Unless it can get small.
Well, if it can get small, then we can.
If it gets small, then we have a chance of fighting it.
Mantis from Kung Fu Panda would argue otherwise.
Well, Mantis isn't here right now.
How do you know?
Fuck.
One of the people down here. Mantis is the Sphinx's attack dog. Oh man. Fear any praying mantis you see. He is small but mighty. God damn it.
You're gonna go look for Rack now.
Yes, I'm gonna go look for
You
Rack.
begin climbing these ladders. Just up one. How far do you climb? The ceiling's good 50 foot high.
God damn it.
Is there? Do I see any like upper landing anywhere?
No, there's an upper rail that the other wheels run across. But realistically, it looks like this ladder is exclusively for access to the books, you know?
I'm gonna turn to Mark and say, "Hey, I don't think this was a great idea.
Are you scared of heights?
A little, but also, you know."
Are you scared of heights because you pushed your cousin off of a cliff and it killed her?
Fucking Christ, Mark. Good God.
Mark, I'll kill us all. I swear to God.
Do you want to, like, climb up to the point you're comfortable and I'll run at the bottom with the ladder and see how fast we can go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, actually. Okay. So how high would you say Rack is at the moment?
Brennan. Oozle has a contract. Huh?
How high up would Rack be at the moment?
That's up to you, buddy. You're the one who decides what heights is. Fear of heights is always subjective,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Nobody's afraid of 6 inches except that one really weird guy. But like everybody's afraid of heights at some point. But it's all just a matter of scale. Like to some people 12 feet's high, to some people 30 feet's high, to some people 200 feet's high. Like
I can't picture feet in my head right now. I'm gonna say like
So
5 stories.
there's a
one
lot of
them-
guys in the world that do just about nothing but picture feet in their head.
Fucking gross. So
Anyway.
take how tall Rack is and divide that by 4.
she's
1
scared
foot?
of 1 foot.
No, I'm just because you said you can't picture like what a foot is in your head. So I was like, you're 4 feet, just like a quarter of you.
1/4
about
rack.
Barely a foot off the ground. She's screaming. I'm gonna say about
We were
like
just in a flying ship for so long.
She stays away from
That's
the
why.
edge.
That's why she didn't reach over to get her fucking axe.
She gave up the minute Mark held her over, right?
She's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
wait.
I was just playing.
I'm gonna say about like 5 stories high, and she's like, "All right, this is it for me."
5 stories?
Yeah.
That puts you just about at the ceiling.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because a story is just about 10 foot.
Okay, then the cliff was definitely taller than that.
Oh, the cliff was way taller than
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Anyway, so
Cliff's like 6
You-
stories.
like the monument, the red sandstone of the monument, that's on
yeah.
average like 200 feet.
okay,
So,
the cliff where she killed her cousin is taller, so she's fine here.
okay, all right. You crawl up towards that top rail and you just like thumbs up him, he thumbs up you, and he just starts going. Strength check. Yeah, pretty decent.
Nice.
Yeah, you start going and jogging, and eventually there's a clack as you run into another ladder. But Mark just kind of like takes it with you. Uzo, you hear a loud clack echo through, and you once again hear shh, 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 shh.
I can assume.
And Mark
Those
like
are-
slows down for a little bit and kind of like stops. And he's like,
Just keep going, keep going.
he turns and goes the other direction.
I could assume that those are my goblins.
You start heading that way.
Yeah.
Perception roll. It is true, Brennan. True. Brother ain't even concerned about saving his baby mama.
Listen,
She's supposed to be smarter than that, you know?
I mean, that's not wrong. It's 28.
28? Yeah, you're making your way towards where you just heard that last clack. And something catches your eye down one of the many hallways. You see movement, just for a brief moment. Not long enough to get any discerning features.
I need to find my friends first.
You ignore it and continue?
Yes, I ignore it and continue.
Okay. Rack, the wind is blowing in your hair. You're having a good time. You're rapidly seeing the next ladder approach. And I need a reflex saving throw.
Is my reflex. Wait,
Just below
Oh,
all of
I see,
your
I see.
main stats. Yeah.
15.
15. The ladder abruptly stops and you are almost swung off. But you do keep hold.
Okay.
You look down and you see that Mark has stopped the ladder and is currently staring at a robed figure. Hard to gauge any details when you're, bird's eye viewing it, though.
Can I?
Slide down the ladder like a cool kid.
Like Dark Souls.
I mean,
Just like Dark Soul.
You know how we fought that T-Rex and I jumped and threw my axe at it?
Weird. Whoa.
It appears that Mark, he's not taking like an aggressive stance.
Yeah, he's just like, what's that? And then
I
here
just
comes
wanna
Rack from the top rope.
My buddy is
However-
frozen, you know?
you are easily within jump strike range.
Fuck, don't encourage this. It hasn't done anything. I'll leave
But
you guys
what
alone.
if it does do something?
I'll leave you
and
guys
I
alone
miss
for
my
10 seconds.
opportunity? I could get the upper hand.
Like
here.
when Mark asked, he's like, "Do you want me to go after her?" I was like, I know Rack's gonna get into some shit, so like it would be nice to have you as backup. But I know for a fact that you two alone together is a terrible idea. But I don't want Rack to die. Go,
Oh
Mark.
no, see, Mark
Dear.
fans the flames, but he always fans it to like an acceptable amount. He stops Rack from truly racking, you know,
He stops Rack from racking.
by participating in the rack minor, you know, not the rack major.
Good God.
Feeds the chaos, but in like bite-sized pieces.
I got that saying the thank you for party rocking in my head, but it's thank you for party racking.
The song is Sorry for Party Rocking.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry for party racking.
All right, fine. I will slide down. I'll compromise. I'll slide down the ladder to the bottom, but I'm going to take a very aggressive stance towards this room.
You hit the bottom and it's just withdrawn immediately.
Yeah,
Who the fuck are you? You know,
yeah.
what's this?
What you doing on my streets, cuh?
You hit the ground with a pretty loud pat, and the figure kind of like jolts and steps back. The hood comes off. A kobold is revealed. That same sandy, stony texture, scales, piercing eyes, little beady bitches just looking right at you. He goes, oh. Shh, and you hear the shush echo.
I was like, you.
It says, you must keep volume to a reasonable level in the library. It is disrespectful otherwise to the others.
What others? Where?
There are those praying. There are those reading.
Other kobolds?
Yes,
I thought
many.
you guys didn't come down here.
This
The other
is our
one seemed like a
temple.
big bitch.
Some do not. Some choose a life of servitude. Down in our most holy of temples. We add lore of our people, stories of our tribes. We search for the stories left behind by other keepers, and for that we remain forever. But you must respect this place, otherwise you will be removed from it.
I respect the hell out of this place. It's dope.
I believe that you
I
have
don't even think-
misunderstood.
I don't even think that's a bluff. Like, I think Rack truly.
Rack's having fun.
I believe that you have mistaken appreciation for respect.
It's not the same?
It is not.
If I asked you to explain it to me, would that be considered me taking knowledge out of this place?
No.
Okay. I won't ask you to explain anyway. I don't really
It
care.
is not contained within the tomes, and
He
so
said
it is
it's
okay.
standard
Oh,
vocabulary.
Okay, so as long as we don't take the knowledge from the tomes, it's totally fine. See, buddy, you hesitated there.
There's
You hesitated.
different rules for different things. The rules here are not intrinsic properties of here, at least what I can tell you. I cannot disclose knowledge from the tomes unless you too desire a life of servitude here, and then the knowledge of the temple is yours for the taking. But simple rules like we do not run full speed through the library, dragging one of the great ladders along and damaging property inside, is a pretty universal thing,
Let me tell
and not
you,
necessarily covered by the secret tomes.
those things run as smooth as hell. You oil those?
Yes,
You do.
daily.
You do a great job.
Me and many others.
You guys, do you get paid? You should get a raise. I don't know what you're being paid, but it's not enough.
We are paid in the knowledge of our ancestors and all of those that have visited before. We will collect the tomes that you have left as well and add them to the archives, no matter what they contain.
You're gonna love it. Great knowledge. you're ever in one of those contests, you're gonna win first prize for sure.
We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You may also freely disclose any knowledge that you possess. You may write it down freely and store it here. It is a great sign of respect, not appreciation.
See, I already respected the place then because I gave you knowledge.
And then immediately turned around and disrespected the place.
I fucking love playing D&D with Bree. Rack is great.
Cancels out then, so technically I didn't do anything.
That's not how that works.
That is how it works. I know basic
However,
math.
From now on, so long as you remain then at 0, we can let it be 0. Deal?
I'm gonna give you a soft yes on that.
I hate the
soft
way
yes.
that you've worded that. And truly wish that you could give me a more committal answer.
I wish you could give me some answers, you know?
I can. What do you wish to know?
How would we get knowledge out of this place without being trapped?
You don't. That is the point.
Well, that's the knowledge I seek, so you're being kind of unhelpful. I want... During this whole thing, Rack is getting progressively louder.
She's
in this
getting
argument.
you're hearing some shushes echo from other places, and she goes, "You are going to attract the others, and it is going to get you removed from this place. Please lower your voice." If I knew ways to get knowledge out of this place, which I do not, if they were covered in the tomes, which I am unsure if they are, there are more tomes than anyone can read through any reasonable lifetime. If they were disclosed in the tomes, I could not release that knowledge to you without trapping you here, thus keeping you barred. If they were not within the tomes, which I do not know that they are, I could disclose it to you, but I do not possess that knowledge. There may be magics in this world powerful enough or clever enough to do such things, but that has not been my life, and that is not my knowledge.
Give me a whole lot of nothing. Do you have a supervisor or something I can talk to?
Absolutely.
Did the Sphinx?
No.
Okay, good. I don't want to talk to that guy.
That guy asks riddles.
I'm sorry, by I don't want to talk to that guy. You are referring to the Sphinx and not my supervisor, who is not. the
Yeah, I
Sphinx.
don't want to. I don't want to talk to this Sphinx.
Okay. Let me summon the supervisor.
But you can't take me there.
It will be faster this way. We know how to navigate this place much better.
Well, what if I want to? Whatever.
Whatever, it's fine.
You appear to be an adventurer, am I wrong?
I like to think of myself as one. You know.
How many adventures have you had where someone meets you at the front door and guides you through the entire adventure and you've
You'd
been
be-
satisfied?
You'd be surprised how many people want to hold my hand on these stupid adventures. I'm not even allowed to kill people.
Right.
Embarrassing.
And that upsets you deeply, I can see. So I would not rob you of the privilege of having a true adventure by exploring on your own, by simply leading you through this place.
You're so kind. Brack falls for it. She stays there.
She pulls out a little silver bell, shakes it. It makes no sound. The supervisor will be with you shortly.
Thank you. You've been honestly, you know what? I'm sorry for how I behaved. You've been helpful. Thank you.
Apology accepted.
I can't.
Please consider it in the future.
I'm probably gonna swing on those ladders again. I'm very sorry.
Please do not. And if you do use the ladders, which you are more than allowed to do, please do it at a safe and reasonable speed for a library.
So like
Frank's
15.
never been in a library.
It's like 15 miles an hour.
She doesn't know how these things work.
All right. All right.
That is also true.
You're looking like a very squishy obstacle.
She wasn't going to say that. Oozle, you come out of the bookshelf maze, intermet with a wall of books, a ladder in front of it, and looking both ways, off in the distance, you see Mark, Rack, and a figure standing, and they appear to be talking.
This is a short figure.
Yes,
All right.
about rack size.
Yeah.
Maybe even just a little shorter.
So Uzel sees that and he loosens his grip on his weapon.
Rack does have weapons drawn.
She always has weapons drawn. That's
Okay.
Mark, does Mark have a weapon drawn?
No, Mark's
Then
just
things
chilling.
are fine. Yeah, I'll approach and just ask, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, Kobold stands before them. Mark just goes, "Oh, we got in trouble for running in the library."
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I was technically the only one running. Rack was riding the ladder at full speed.
But I was the one that got in trouble for it. Whatever.
Well, no, I was getting a good lashing until you came down and took all the heat for me. So like,
Oh, so you're welcome.
thanks for that one, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, no, really,
You owe me one.
really
Thank
came
you.
in clutch. If there's one thing I don't like, it's getting chewed out for things that I did.
I got you, buddy. No worries.
Yeah, it's great to not be in trouble anymore. And the kobold's just like, oh, fuck.
I'll like look up the ladder.
Yeah, it's like a 50-foot ladder.
I'll look down at Rack. We'll contemplate explaining the inherent dangers from a fall like that. Decide against it.
It's fine.
Not too much time passes until out from the bookshelf maze comes another kobold. Very similarly dressed, very similar kind of robes. However, he has glasses on. And he approaches and, "Excuse me, I do believe that you rang for a supervisor."
Wait, why are we talking? Did you ask for a manager?
"What may I assist you with,
I think
adventurers?"
this guy's lying. I don't think he's in charge. Look at him. I say this out loud.
The kobold, the first kobold, the woman, she kind of like, "Seymour is extremely knowledgeable on
You say
everything
Seymour?
and has been in here almost longer than any other kobold."
For-
And he says, "Please, if
Forgive
it
my
is
companion's
directory to
brusqueness.
knowledge that you seek, I may help. It is a rule here that we must remain polite and cordial. I would ask that you follow our rules just as I will."
Forgive my companion's brusque nature.
"You are forgiven."
What did you need a supervisor for?
I'm just trying to get some knowledge. First kobold didn't know shit.
"Of course, if you seek knowledge that is hidden within the tomes here, you must remain here forever. I am obligated to give you that warning. Every
Verbal
possible
knowledge.
chance
I'm
I
not
can."
opening one of these things.
"Of course.
But
Any
it-
knowledge that is not handled within the tomes may be exchanged freely."
Sorry, Brett, it's funny. you
Have
go
you read any
ahead.
books by Seymour?
I've not.
Seymour Butts?
God damn it. God damn it.
Too easy.
Oh.
Oh, where were we?
Any knowledge that is not covered within the tomes I may share freely with you, and have taken a solemn oath to do so any time that I may, without, of course, harming the library here or leading you to anything that may harm the library or those within. Those are just part of the politeness rules.
So what the other one told me is that if she shares knowledge that she learned from the tomes to me, I am therefore stuck here as well, even though I didn't touch the damn thing, right?
That is correct, yes.
That sucks. How do we get around that?
I suppose from an adventurer's standpoint, it would make sense that that would be extremely inconvenient, especially seeing that most my people, visitors that we get, are coming here to seek knowledge, as it seems to be almost exclusively what we possess down here. I am aware of ways around reading tomes and being able to leave.
Now we're getting somewhere. You want to enlighten us? Look.
Do you wish to remain here forever?
Look, you either help me or I do remain here forever, and ask your friend if she really wants that to happen.
She's like, Get him out of here.
I love rack diplomacy. This is great. I'm staying silent. The intimidation by just threatening to stay here is incredible. I love it.
Are you saying that if you do not find the loophole you wish, that you will crack open a random tome, read it, and be stuck here forever? Exclusively to make as much of a problem as you can?
It's been known to happen. Yeah. I cause problems on purpose.
I advise highly against that. The library has its own ways of keeping the peace. These rules may not be intrinsic to the library, but they are enforced by the library, if that makes sense.
Annoying enough to stay under the radar of whatever this library is, like, capable of killing me, you know? I'm willing to stay below that. Just annoying enough to make it hell for you.
I'm unsure if you possess that kind of self-restraint. Of course, as well, I am very aware of the intricacies of the library and how to navigate it, and you are not. I do believe that I could evade you in a reasonable enough time and for a long enough time that the library would eventually kill you.
Are you willing to risk that?
But she wouldn't be annoying until she found you.
Yeah.
So like, the library
Unfortunately,
wouldn't
you
do
have me
anything.
in a position, though, because if I disclose this knowledge that I know to you, which is contained within tomes here, you will be stuck here forever
Okay,
anyway.
but you just said... I'm gonna turn to Mark like, am I hearing this wrong or something? Am I crazy?
No, the kid's totally talking in circles.
Little halfling Oozle is just like...
How long does that illusion last? I didn't think it lasted all that long.
No, it does. It's as long as I'm wearing the ring.
Is it a permanent one? I thought it had a time limit.
It's as long as I'm wearing the ring.
Doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's all aesthetics anyway.
Yeah. Again, if anybody bumps into me, they will very quickly realize that this boy dense.
I may or may not be able to disclose to you that potentially the ways that could get around the tomes do not involve you already possessing the curse, and perhaps possessing the curse would negate any way that I could potentially know of leaving here with knowledge from here. So therefore, if I tell you the possible loophole which is contained within the tome, you would be possessed under the curse and therefore unable to utilize the loophole to remove knowledge from here without being cursed, supposedly. In like a hypothetical situation, there are places where that could happen. Also, you don't strike me as a particularly kind person that I wish to honestly help. And though I have taken an oath to be realistically as helpful as I can, if I did know loopholes that even though you were cursed, allegedly, and the curse was in full effect and the loophole still worked, I may simply not be in the position to desire to disclose that kind of information to you because of your abrasive attitude. If you were to have possessed an abrasive attitude and I was the kind of person to pettily decide not to disclose information to you based on said abrasive attitude. Not at all that I am saying that you have an abrasive attitude or that I possess such knowledge.
I'm gonna turn to the others. I'm gonna say very softly, I am 3 seconds away from burning this whole place down to the ground.
Unfortunately, fire does not work on the tomes within here. They are indeed protected.
Do they work on the people in here?
I
Oozle's
believe
gonna
that
interrupt.
it is time for us to take our leave.
Oozle's interrupting. I'm gonna put a hand on Rack's shoulder. I'm gonna tell Rack, take a lap. Just take a lap. Cool off. I'll take it from here.
She's gonna like walk like 10 feet away and just start like aggressively talking to herself. Like, oh,
Punching the air.
Little shadow boxing.
who the hell does he think he is?
I also have excellent ears and am the manager here.
Apologies, Seymour. My travel companion has not had her nap yet.
If it is rest you desire, I may lead you to some rooms in which you might be able to seek some shelter.
We will take you up on that offer in just a moment. I have some less threatening questions to ask of you. First and foremost, the rules as I am understanding is that If you gain any knowledge, you are not able to leave.
Correct.
I have been told by the Sphinx that it is impossible for any knowledge to leave this place.
I do believe that you have been told that, yes.
Okay. Not necessarily the hows or specifics, but is there a location that you know of that would disclose a way that the knowledge could be transmitted from this place?
I have already admitted that there are tomes with such loopholes contained within.
However, you have said that there are loopholes to where you could gain the knowledge and still be able to leave. I am asking, if one did not leave, how would the knowledge have left?
I am not saying that in the affirmative. I am alleging that there is the possibility that knowledge could be gained without direct interaction with the tomes or the tomes' knowledge, and then could leave this place. There is a logic behind that, correct?
Yes.
That is what I am saying.
Thank you.
And that in and of itself would be considered a loophole to these rather all-encompassing rules that you have heard.
Very well. My next question is...
In the way that perhaps you have learned that my name is Seymour, and you did not know that before entering the library, but you may still leave.
Okay. So, by not interacting with any of the tomes, but if someone such as yourself or one of the other people in this library were to explain or tell what they learned, even though we did not interact with the books, that keeps us stuck here, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know where this comes from? I'm going to pull out the thing.
That specific order, not necessarily, but there are some wings and lower floors committed to the blue magics, the mental magics.
All right. Has there been a human?
This floor would be the wrong place to search.
Which floor would we need to go to?
He pulls out a small book. He covers
Oh yeah, no.
with his cloak.
You
yeah,
ain't
he kind
catching
of
me
like
slipping.
yeah, and he flips through it a little bit. It is 4 levels below us. I could perhaps lead you there.
That would be much appreciated.
Sometimes the pathways change on us, though.
Then a guide would be most helpful. Have you seen a human wandering these halls?
Yes, 2 recently.
2 recently. How recently, do you know?
Right now.
Mark and Alia. All right.
Falls for it every time.
Besides us, Seymour.
Yes, not too terribly long ago. It is difficult to keep time here, and watches are not something that we necessarily need, as now it is forever for our lives. There are 2, and I do believe that they still live within the halls. A man and a young girl. Not unlike these 2, actually. Except for the skin complexion of the guy and the hair of the girl. And like everything else. But you know, age-wise. Not necessarily age-wise either. The man appears much younger than this one. And the girl appears younger than that one. As a matter of fact, they have very little in common other than the fact that they're the only 2 humans I've seen down here my whole life besides these 2.
I will give a...
Therefore, they do kind of share quite a lot of similarities when you think about it.
I will give a brief description of Chris and be like, is this the guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, cool. That's what
I have
figured.
seen him around.
And I think I know who the girl is, and that's going to pose complications. The Sphinx said that there was another He said that there was one that was spread across multiple floors, and then there was another, unsure of which floor they were on, that had a companion.
Sure. Many of us down here come in, not necessarily family groups, but perhaps with close brood friends, and remain and work together. Sometimes, especially newer recruits, choose not to separate. As I have stated, the order of things sometimes changes, and they wish to remain together through their training. As to the one that resides on multiple floors, I am unsure as to what the Sphinx may mean by that. He does have a way of talking in circles. Perhaps he means that there is one that rapidly traverses floors, greedily seeking knowledge, or perhaps, like myself, rapidly transitions floors for work. Now, a good part of my job as well includes seeking knowledge, but I cannot disclose that knowledge with you, for it is contained within the tomes and would curse you to remain here forever, and it seems that that is not what you desire.
That is not, thank you.
You are free to change your mind at any point.
I know I am.
We will find place amongst the ranks for you, or the library will weed you out on its own.
Very well. So our sending stones don't work, and that is why we can't like contact our mages, Brennan.
Yes, magical means of communication do not work down here.
Are other magics restrained as well?
There are many magics that are restricted, exact details of which I cannot disclose to you, because that would be disclosing knowledge hidden within tomes and would curse you to remain here forever, which it seems that you still desire not to do.
That is indeed correct, Seymour. Thank you. All right. I'll wave over Rack.
You still steaming?
Yeah, she'll stomp over.
You're fuming?
Yeah.
We're going to be following Seymour to the lower levels.
Fuck.
Cope and seethe.
I'm gonna kill this guy.
Open sea. I like that one.
Guy.
I like that one. That's a good one. Yes, so we will.
He turns around and at an incredibly brisk pace takes off into the bookshelves.
All right. I follow.
Yeah. Give me a way that you guys keep track of him, as he is taking corners fast.
Will you allow a diplomacy roll for me to be like, hey, slow up just a little bit?
No.
Okay. It was worth. Would you accept a survival roll? Because if I don't follow this guy, I'll probably die.
Okay, I'd accept the survival roll. I'm not so sure because of that reasoning, but you know.
12 plus 18 gives me 30.
30? You're keeping track of him pretty decent, but it is like knife's edge keeping up with this guy.
Quickly.
Fortitude saving throws.
Fortitude save. That's wild.
As you are traversing for a while.
Fortitude. We're at a 27.
27.
21.
21. Both of you were good. It is not too terribly long as you were desperately trying to follow him, focusing on this fast-moving kobold, twisting and winding through these bookshelves, before you realize that the ceiling is much lower. And then the types of bookshelves change. And you find yourself in an area with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves with ladders ringing around. And as you were desperately following, you note rooms. Some rooms have desks, some have beds, some seem to be chapels of some sort with art and carvings. Some have pottery inside. Some have chests. One particular one that you rush by has a chest that is open and overflowing with gold. But he blows straight past. Rack, do you need a will saving throw as well?
What?
Do you need a will saving throw as well here?
I'll do one for fun.
Fafnir just tickling in the back of her brain. Get it.
Take.
You said a will saving throw?
Yes.
Let's see.
I just picture like the It movie. We got freaking Pennywise with a boat. Take it.
Come on, Georgie.
That's a 9.
It's a 9. Yeah, you walk in and you just like full stop. Everybody else is sprinting by. It seems like they don't even notice.
That's fine with me.
That
There's
stopped.
like the tire squeal as her feet just dig into the cobble.
Rack, you stop. This chest is gleaming. There's gold, there's gems. And it's just kind of in a little nook. There's a couple chairs and benches around. You see a couple old dusty tomes kind of stacked over in the corners kind of deal.
I didn't plan this far ahead.
You just start stuffing coins in your purse like...
You know what? Just because I want to, and it'll be fun. I'm gonna sniff for magic.
Yeah, you smell for magic.
Yeah, it's a 2.
You smell no magic.
Figured.
Smells like metal.
It smells like money.
Smells like gold and riches.
Yeah, I'm gonna stuff as much as I can into my pockets.
Just into your pockets?
Yeah.
Just a couple of
Second
fistfuls
gear.
of gold?
Yeah.
Do you not have a bag of holding?
No.
I could have swore you did. I could have swore that you had 2 magic items at the beginning of this, right? Your axe and a bag of holding so you could hold all your gold in it.
I probably should then. I don't have it written on here.
No.
I'd say if you've had a bag of holding this entire time, that's
Yeah, no.
nuts.
Yeah, I thought you did. And that's how you carried your vast wealth on you. I'll give you a bag of holding.
Fuck it.
Yeah. I already assumed you had one, so it doesn't hurt me to
Well-
give it to you.
Fine. I did not have one.
You could take all of that money.
I heard a butt in there.
Damn it.
I didn't say it, but
I heard it.
It's so
Maybe Rack's just
unbelievably
gassy.
implied.
Okay.
you scoop all the gold and jewels into that backpack.
Brennan has a good point. It's time for you to reach out to your god. Ask him,
Let's see.
like, hey, Fafnir, you know any good ways to steal this shit?
Yeah, East had a bag of holding as well, but I could have sworn, I just don't think it maybe came up anytime through the campaign. But I thought at character creation we had gotten you a bag of holding
We
because
did not. I
you
literally
had to have the money on your person, and
That
it would
makes
be
sense. I don't
unreasonable
know.
without it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now I have one. I've always had one,
Yeah,
and I will gaslight
it is
all of
just
you.
official.
It is now official.
Oozle, you're feeling a little winded, but eventually you reach your destination. He stops. It is a separate room. There are some tables and benches, and there is one long, tall bookshelf. And he goes, I do believe that this is the most advanced stuff we have. If those runes in that order, or the tome that you believe they came from, exists here, this would be the place. Best of luck to you. Happy hunting. And if you do so desire to remain here forever, I shall return to give you a proper job.
Thank you, Seymour.
I would like to say it's been a pleasure, but honestly... And he turns and starts walking away.
I thought I was pretty cordial with the guy. I thought we.
Sometimes it's not you personally, but just the company you
No,
keep.
I'm so aware.
Majority of the time.
I am so aware.
Perception. Now that you are in the correct room, you've taken a little breath.
25.
25.
24.
You're like focused down, the books are what's important. You get into here, Seymour's gone.
So
Let's get to searching.
okay, so first, before I start like hyperfixating on looking for a book,
Yeah, that's what is like how
I'm gonna first start looking for
or you like super like
signs of-
investigative.
yeah, investigative, because
Yeah.
Chris has been down here. Chris,
'Cause I know how motivated you are to find Chris.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
assuming he's still fucking here. So
There is no dust anywhere here. It is very clean. One thing sticks out to you as you start really looking around. You're looking at the desk, you're looking at the bookshelves and stuff. One thing that does first really stick out to you is that this bookshelf is not full. There are places where a book could go or a scroll could go. There are empty pockets, and that is something that you actually have not seen yet.
yeah, 'cause this motherfucker's building his own little personal library so he can look for shit to fuck up Mima.
Yeah.
All right.
The next thing is you hear Mark say, we got a problem, boss.
Yeah.
To which you turn to look at him and notice for the first time, it is just you and Mark here.
Well, and Alia.
No,
No.
it is just you and Mark here. And he goes, we were moving so fast and those bookshelves were so confusing, I didn't notice when we lost the other two.
Fuck.
Rack, you've scooped all of this gold and jewels. Do you leave the chest that they were in? Or do you take the chest as well?
Is it an opulent chest?
Not necessarily. Just pretty standard footlocker kind of deal.
Making me. I'm gonna roll perception on this chest because you're making me doubt myself.
I'm just asking.
I'm just asking. I'm not rolling good with this dice right now.
Put it in jail.
I don't have a jail dice. Hold on. I can do math. 25.
Yeah. You inspect the chest, you're kind of like, you're turning it over, you're searching around, you knock on it a little bit. It has a false bottom.
Do I notice any kind of lever or any kind of mechanism to like open it?
It seems like it's like
Oh.
a felt kind of thing. You
Okay.
can just pull the
Okay,
fabric
cool. So,
up
Just a simple
kind of
one.
deal. And then
Hopefully.
there's just like a small board with a hole in it that you can just kind of pop open. Very simple style.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, you open it up. There is a book inside.
Fuck.
It is a dwarven cookbook.
I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm not gonna open it though.
It is meats, cheeses, and beer.
Not much of a cook, so I won't open it.
Yeah, you don't open it, but you want to keep a hold of it?
Yeah, just for now.
Okay.
Let's hold on to
You
it.
put it in your bag of holding.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Stop making noises over there. I didn't
I-
open it.
I'm so aware. There's so many like nuanced things that like Ian will do / say that like on the surface,
He looks calm and ready.
yeah, but like
Deep down, knees
I
weak,
know-
arms are heavy.
I know when he's like meticulously like laying a trap. Through like
Yeah.
some of this like there's some of the things that he says and the way that he says it, I just know that like
For someone who knows me so intimately in my DM style that he can pick out when I'm beginning to lay a trap, he sure falls into a lot of fucking traps.
I sure do. I sure do.
Who were the last?
I didn't say
humans
it was a foolproof method, but there's some of them where I'm like,
Some
Oh.
traps may be more obvious than others.
or like just the way that he says things, like with the glasses, like so you put the glasses like on or like on your head. Oh, I'll put them on my head, so like not on. No, just on my head. All right, just making sure. And I'm like, we should probably put the glasses on.
I do want to actually reach out to Fafnir. If I can. I want to try and reach out to him.
You can.
Nice.
I mean, Thoth is already mad at us.
Who cares about knowledge? There's gold down there.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna go. Oh, great, mighty, powerful, sick Dragon Lord Fafnir. There is so much cool shit. And I will not be able to leave and add it to my hoard without some kind of fucking help here.
Roll prayer. Just straight D20 roll.
Not with that dice.
Not with that one. You're in dice jail today.
Come on.
It's almost like 3D printed, like, corner.
Is that a nat one?
It's a 7.
Oh, okay. I was
Not rolling
like,
good today.
damn. You don't hear a direct response, but you get this feeling that Fafnir doesn't think that what you have said is the case.
He doesn't think I can add it to my hoard?
He thinks that what he would care about, you can.
'Cause gold isn't technically knowledge. That's what I'm gathering.
I mean, that's true, but I'm not going to admit this, but I'm not going to leave without my friends. Embarrassing.
We're sitting here looking.
That's not Fafnir's concern.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
You know?
searching for Rack for like the rest of eternity, and like she already returned. She's up at the ship with Finn. Like they're counting the gold.
All right. How about this? Can you point me into any direction where there is even more wealth in here? No?
Sniff it.
Unfortunately, you rolled a 7. At that point, that is something that Fafnir could potentially help you with, but he's busy
I
or
made him
something.
mad.
Line's busy, you know.
All right.
You left your voicemail.
All right. Catch you later. Love you.
Where to? You're in this kind of weird cubby. There's a hallway that goes 2 different directions. There appears to be a door going off in a third.
I'm gonna yell out hey again.
You yell hey and echoing through.
No shit.
Shh, shh.
Hey, I need some help. I'll shut up if you come help me.
Once again, shh, shh, shh.
Kind of rude. Yeah. So you said to the left and to the right?
To the left, to the right, there's a doorway. Straight behind you, there's a wall in front of you.
I'm gonna go right.
Yeah, you go, you take the right pathway, and it is not long before you find yourself in the grand
Morning shift
library
was on that.
maze. And Brennan, that is $6 for some prestige. Use it to actually speak to Fafnir. So that's for you. That is 10 prestige, I believe.
Oh.
No, 3 for 3. Sorry, 6 prestige.
I'll do that later
Brennan,
in a minute.
thank you. You're gonna hold on to that one for just a second.
Just a second.
As now you've got some other direction to go for a minute.
Where did you say I was again?
You're back in the
In the-
grand first floor, second floor technically, area. Uzel and Mark, you guys have lost your friends. There's some homes missing from this area. There's only one direction to go currently behind you.
Yeah. I'll look at Mark. I'll ask, do you think you could retrace our steps?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I can't either.
Do we just keep looking for your terrible family member that you want to slaughter in cold blood?
Unless you got something else. Because we can't find our way back.
No. I freed up the next like at least week, plus of course the travel time back for you. So.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. As it turns out, I'm not like super busy ever since my family was brutally murdered and it changed my life forever. I'm kind of committed to like this bit now.
I feel that, man.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been swamped, and man, I maybe would have been able to give you like every other weekend or something. Realistically, even then, I would have devoted that to like teaching my boy how to play catch.
Yeah. I guess we just do some looking around here, and we can deal with the missing companions.
You wish to further investigate this room?
Yes.
Sure, I'll start looking around.
First.
Oh, okay. There's more.
No.
Okay, I'll get back to it.
Yeah, this is a first for Marquise. Can you use hero points to talk to gods?
It'd kind of be a waste of a hero point.
But see, here's the thing. It
Depends on the god and like, you know, what kind of conversation you're looking to have. But yeah, the gods are gods. You've got access to them.
Yeah.
You are God chosen.
Because this is the only real way that I know, or like, because I don't have any prestige, I don't have any god tokens.
Have you tried just asking nicely?
I mean, he's the boy. He might. He might. Yep. I'll just try a prayer/religion roll. I want to reach out to my boy Smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you reach out to him with?
Hey man, you want access to another library? Very similar to Thoth's.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, probably got some stuff in here that Thoth doesn't even have. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. We could get a door out of here, that'd be great. Do you want that a straight prayer, or do you want a knowledge religion?
Straight prayer.
Straight prayer is going to be a 14.
I don't care what you know about talking to Smiles. I care about whether or not he's like available. 14? Yeah, you kind of reach out with your connection and speak to the trickster god. And it is not too long before you hear back, "Oh, that dusty old place? Yeah, no, I know that.
Do you have a little door in here?
Well, would I be the god of arcane trickery if I didn't?"
I knew you were the right guy. Would you be willing to help your guy out and let me know where that door is?
I mean, you said you were going to scratch my back, so...
Well, I didn't know that you already knew about this place, but is there something in here you particularly want?
In here? Oh, I could get anything I want in here. I'm not too worried about any of that. I am a god, after all. And I know a couple things about this place that you don't know. So, like, you know... It changes the dynamic a little bit.
That it does. Like I said, I thought that I was, I don't know, giving you in, but I will ask. Is there anything in particular I could do for you? Yeah, me and Smiles got a pretty good connection. This has been the boy.
You kind of look around as this voice kind of like travels through the room, and eventually you see him sitting on a bookshelf. He is shrunken down to a very tiny state, and he just kind of like, "Perhaps it's time that you and I had a little more serious discussion about what exactly it is you're doing here."
Okay.
You're asking me what I want. But what I want's maybe a little more grandiose than where you've got your sights set. And it starts with a couple of questions. Do you understand the process as to how, like, Me and my couple compatriots became gods, ascended from mortality
I
during the Great Dragon Wars. Technically, like, just right after.
cannot say that I do.
Huh.
What I know is that there was
So you don't understand why it's so dangerous for, like, groups of God chosen to be, like, hanging out in close proximity.
we've tried to ask that question many times, and we keep getting told to essentially mind our fucking business.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to know.
Like
at all.
So no. All I know is that it is very uncommon and very dangerous for that to happen. And when I tried to ask questions as to why,
Yeah.
all I got was crickets, my man.
Do you have any, you spend any time thinking about that? You got any working theories?
Well, I guess main theory that I have is that much of a collection of relatively strong divine power in one location causes things, simply put, causes ripples in the pond.
Ripples in the pond, ripples in the pond, ripples in the pond.
And that there is something out there, whether that be the gods or something else, that does not quite care for those ripples.
You may be true. I get the sense that maybe you're talking on different scales. When you say ripples in the pond, you're talking perhaps of overthrowing kingdoms and empires, changing continents.
No. I'm thinking more along the lines of... that...
Yeah, the air's pretty stale down here. You gotta watch how you breathe.
I think that there's not necessarily this plane alone,
Well, of course there's not this plane alone. You've traveled to other planes.
in the sense of these ripples are not just affecting what we know, but something on a greater scale. And that is because if it was something that we know, if it was something that just only directly affected us, I see no reason why the gods would be so hesitant to share that information unless it was something that directly impacted them.
Look, friend, and he stands up and he starts walking, but he walks up the bookshelf and onto the ceiling and kind of starts pacing just with his hands behind his back. He starts growing close to normal halfling size. Here's the dilemma that I've got right now. You're alluding to things with me, and I'm the god, and you're the mortal. So, like, you're supposed to be honest and straight up with me and telling me, like, to the detail what you think's going on here.
That is truly the details that I got, because I don't know of anything else.
And if you're just hinting and alluding to things, like, I feel like you're taking my job from me, and I take this job very seriously, though it may seem like I don't. My duties are, like, very solid, and it keeps me busy a lot of the day, and I don't get a lot of sleep anymore because it turns out gods don't really sleep. And so, like, I'd appreciate it if you did your job as the mortal and just, like, gave me the details, you know? And when you talk on things, you're not saying, like, ripples on a grand scale, but you'd say something like, oh, the very realms could be in jeopardy or something like that.
I'm not...
You know? Because here's the problem that I have. I could disclose to you that there's multiple universes all around that may be connected with magical ties, but I'm not supposed to. I might be able to disclose to you that perhaps the gods don't give two shits about like 99% of the mortal realms and really don't stay that involved on things, but I shouldn't disclose that information to you because that's not what the gods are supposed to do. Right? You're supposed to go around, come up with your working theories, figure it out on your own, and if you strike gold, you strike gold. But if you turn out like one of those fools that's like, oh, the gods don't even exist or whatever, we just kind of don't ever know that you exist, in all honesty, really.
Okay. Out of character. I'm not alluding to anything. That's genuinely like I don't know how the shit works. So that's my genuine theory is that like obviously us being all together is dangerous because it fucks up some astronomical fucking cosmic universal shit. I don't know what that cosmic universal shit is. Okay. Back in character. Okay. I didn't mean to make it seem as if I was alluding to anything.
You just don't know any powers greater than yourself?
I mean, besides you guys, not really.
And with that, he like appears right in front of your face. Besides us.
The gods?
You've gotten a couple of our attention. What happens when you start pulling a lot of you together?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that there's more divine power and everything when the Godwoken get together that like that in some way, shape, or form causes problems because a lot of the gods are being involved in a very concentrated point.
But of course, and he disappears right in front of your eyes, and you hear him speaking right into your ear from behind, and you feel something cold on your neck. If you really cause that many problems, what's just stopping us from slaughtering you and all of your friends?
Because you guys set us on this quest?
To which he disappears, and he comes over and he goes, I didn't send anyone on shit.
Well, you personally know.
And realistically, when I was immortal, the gods didn't care too terribly much about what me and my friends did until they really cared. You know? You don't know. But it's okay. Maybe one day you'll know. But until you know,
so
you can't do anything for me.
You know what? We have a pretty good rapport. At least I like to think that we do. Oh, this might be really fucking bad. Is there some place that we can talk that the others can't listen?
To which Smiles looks over his shoulder at Mark. Mark seems completely unaware of this conversation. Yeah. He's like picking his nose. He's like looking at the spines of books, and you hear him mumble to himself. He's like, if I read the spines of these books, does that count as knowledge from the tomes? And you see just like this like existential bit of dread.
Oh no, am I stuck?
Yeah.
I mean, the other gods.
You think like, how often do you think they're watching and listening in on you? Or are you looking to drop some names?
Sort of that.
I know a place, but it's going to hurt. How tough are you? Nah, you'll be all right. How many hit points do you have?
Oh, 202.
I need you to reduce that to 1. As you feel the most immense amount of pain you have ever felt in your entire life. You are pulling apart, piece by piece, string by string, and put back together time and time again. And when you come to, you are in an entirely alien landscape. It is blocky. It is loud. You see humans. They're dressed weird. Everything is angular and boxy. Besides the people. They're still people. Smiles, looks at you and goes, a little loud here. Come this way. And he turns and walks between these two humongous structures.
Okay.
into kind of a darkened area. There are no people there, but there is obvious. There's the smell of refuse, of garbage.
Did you just reverse isekai me? Okay.
You follow him in, and he turns and he goes, "Yeah, the gods don't ever pay any attention to this place. It's basically dead to them."
Okay.
We don't have too much time, though. Magic doesn't like work here. They don't have the ley lines like you got. So, make it snappy.
Oh, I cannot believe I'm about to do this. This might fuck up absolutely everything. I'm going to spill the beans about Barden and be like, hey, man, this is what the guy told us.
You met an entity that claims to be a god from another universe.
Wait, was his name actually Barden?
Yeah.
Fucking look at me go. I said that name off the top of my head, and I was like, I never remember that guy's name. So I just give a wrong name. No. There you go. Anyway,
Very good.
yes. Sorry. Yes, in the Fey Woods, we met, quote unquote, met this thing that claimed he was a fallen old god. And I'll level with you, found it difficult to believe given the circumstances of the meeting, but and I'll lay out to him like what Barden told us about, like he was enslaved by the guy.
The guy?
He who shall not be named.
You're good here, man. You can speak.
Okay, yeah. He said that he was enslaved by Baron, and that the Baron was using these ley lines for something, but he also said that the gods, in a sense, know that that's what he's doing, but they wouldn't do anything to stop him, because if the ley lines go away, they go away. And he also claimed that if these ley lines remain, our world will be destroyed. I think he gave it like within the next, didn't he say like 1,000 years or something?
Oh, I mean, the realm's inherently unstable.
Yeah, and he said that it's these ley lines that are causing it to be unstable.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all the information I've got.
And you haven't inferred anything from that? You haven't destroyed any of the ley lines based off of that information?
I'll level with you, boss. We have. The Conjuration one was a necessity to escape.
Was it?
We were trapped there for a really long time, and it was a way out.
It was a way out. But don't confuse the first way out that was presented to you, the easiest way out that was presented to you, with the only way out, of course.
That's fair. And then the necromancy one as well. And that was admittedly for selfish reasons. Because the Mad King, most of his forces, his dangerous forces, are comprised using necromancy magic.
Lots of things use necromantic magics. Absolutely. Lots of healing practices as well. Do you believe as a mortal it is your right to destroy magic within a realm?
You know, that's kind of been something that I've been struggling with. Because on one hand, what good would it be to save the people, save the continent, save the realm, if it's just going to be destroyed due to this anyways? Admittedly, it
as
would
a
be...
mortal, that would be reasonable.
it would be not my problem because I'll be long dead. But
Would you?
I mean,
I wouldn't be.
that you wouldn't.
Of course, there are differences between you and I.
Exactly. And I know, Brendan. I so know. I so know. However, I cannot feel as if I'm doing something right if in the end it is inherently useful when I have the ability to save people.
How truly concerned are you with doing the right thing?
At this point, very.
And
Ask me about a year ago, the answer would have been none.
And you have become fully committed to this righteousness.
I'll let you know. It's because if I was, then all the other ley lines we would have ran into, I would have simply destroyed those. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure if that's the right way to do things.
Are you addicted to magic? It's okay to be honest. I am. I love it. I don't spend any time in these realms unless it's to introduce a little magic to it. I've done that with some places. Sometimes small and subtle, sometimes, well, full transition, we could say.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to magic. It is
Then why wouldn't you destroy the ley lines?
because I'm trying to see if there's another option.
What would that option be?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
What would you desire it to be?
Well, I know that the people of this realm have become very used to and reliant on magic, and to simply rip it away would cause an unforeseen amount of, simply put, we'll say strife. So if there was a way that I could find out to stabilize the realm, the ley lines, if the ley lines were created in this realm when the realm was already here, theoretically, there should also be a way to replace them in a more stable manner.
There are many magics and many ways to introduce it to a realm. Yours is inherently unstable.
The way that it was introduced?
What if I was to tell you that in any way keeping the ley lines around would spell doom for your realm? The time scale could be altered, but inherently these ley lines and the way that they are pulled will tear it apart.
So are you trying to tell me that there's no other way to pull them to make them more stable?
These ones? How could you move a ley line?
I'm the mortal here. These are the questions that I'm asking.
That's right, you are.
I'm not sure.
And it would be a rather arrogant thing to assume that you could figure it out, then, would it not?
That's kind of the dilemma that we're at right now.
And you have zero working theories as to how to start this process?
Well, not necessarily, because the working theory is what we're doing right now is because we were told that these ley lines were created by a god. So,
of course,
this is me having the working theory of I don't know how to fix it, so why not ask a god?
Creation may be disingenuous. Moved, brought, altered. Absolutely, gods do that. Sometimes alone, sometimes as groups. Who did? When did they do it? That's above my pay grade. I'm new to this gig. Do you believe then that you could find the god or gods responsible and convince them to stabilize it? Do you have any working theory as to who's done it?
Well,
Because I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. It's never even bothered me.
the Bone Tree Man said it was Baron.
He is quite the devil. He's old, but I didn't think he was the oldest of the gods amongst our pantheon. Perhaps a lie. Perhaps something even more devious. I would have to investigate that if I so desire to. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? Because I have things that I want, but it seems that you are either not capable, not ready, just not that guy. You know, guy? Can I call you guy?
You can go on me, guy.
I know.
I know. Well, really the only real options is to either A, try to pry the information from the Baron, which yeah,
A bold thing for a mortal to say.
indeed. B, try to find out if it wasn't him, who it is, and like you said, convince them to fix it. Or C,
Oh, I could stop you, Brennan.
no, he's saying Smiles talking to Oozle, saying that, like, because he's like, can I call you guy? And I was like, sure. He's like, I can call you fucking Exegete if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Option C is I figure out a way to become a god and do it myself.
Now, there's the interesting question. How does one become a god?
I repeat what I said. I find a way to make myself a god and fix it myself.
If you were to start tomorrow, what do you think your first step would be? Do you think you'd travel somewhere? Would you begin reading tomes in the library you're in? Would you keep asking around, knowing full well that I've already told you that it's hidden knowledge that even I'm not willing to disclose to you?
Well,
Would
what
you go
I
on a
do-
slaughter spree? Destroy everything in sight?
well, no, because that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. But what I would do tomorrow is kind of dependent on what happens with today. If I were to, say, have a doorway out of here, that the knowledge that is maintained in this library, a doorway of which I could get said knowledge out, I would imagine that in this library of hidden knowledge, there might be something that would point me in the right direction.
Has that, like, worked on other gods when you've talked to them?
I'll be honest with you, man. You're the most candid one I speak to.
Am I?
Yes.
That was a terrible way to answer my question. I'm asking, regardless as to whether or not I give you some back door and solve all your problems for you, how would you start the process of becoming a god, Oozle? You know it can be done. I was immortal.
And I do recall a question you asked me a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
When you asked if I could be a god of anything, what would I be the god of? To which when I responded, the god of war, you made it seem as if that was a route by directly taking the place of an already existing one.
And if it is,
Well,
would you replace the god that gave you the boon, Ares himself? You would dethrone him as the god of war? Would you go after Athena, his sister, longtime rival, and send her to wherever defeated gods go when they are replaced? If a god has ever been replaced, would you attack my friend, John, the Bone Breaker, to whom you once served a lifetime of service to? Would you go after a great warrior like Achilles?
if that is the only avenue or option that I am aware of when the time comes, then yes.
Oh, who did I replace?
I do not know. Would you be willing to tell me?
If I replaced anybody, would I be willing to tell you? Or am I telling you that I didn't replace anybody by not disclosing the name of the one that I may have replaced?
Well, yes, I can imagine that there's other ways than fighting and slaying a god. It's just I'm unaware of those ways.
What do you put your odds at for your method?
Oh, very low.
Would your first step then be to pursue that line?
No.
Would you tomorrow begin training to fist fight Ares?
No, that seems like a folly idea.
Would you try to sneak into Loki's home when he sleeps and slit his throat to become the next trickster?
Sneak into that seems like a plan already destined for failure.
Well, Loki doesn't sleep, so...
Well, there's that as well. That is why I said that if that is the only option available when the time comes, however, that does not mean that there are not other options out there that I'm going to be searching for.
What options would those be? That, Oozle, is the question. What avenue would you take? What knowledge would you seek? Where would you seek it? What truly is the best way? And are you the only one considering it? You don't have an answer for me, and that's okay. You're just immortal. And not a particularly trained one. We got to get on out of this realm anyway. Come with me. He turns and starts walking.
Okay. As we walk, I'm going to ask, like, from the little I do know, it was said that you, Gimli, and John ascended after achieving some great feat, some quest that you guys were set upon.
We were set upon a quest. We failed. And at that, you are sucked back through the pain immense and immeasurable. And when you are put back together, you find yourself back in the room with Mark at 1 hit point.
Sick. Love that.
He turns around and goes, you find anything yet?
He will immediately vomit.
I collapse to the floor. Hey man, stay away from the bookshelf. Do you eat like some bad jerky or something?
No.
Do you need some charcoal?
No, I'm good. Can we take 5?
Rack. You have found yourself back into the main library area alone.
I hate it here.
For this 5, you just need your own time to process, I'm hoping. Okay. I'm going to give you at least 5, I hope.
Yeah.
Bodes well for me.
It's on your shoulders now. Carry the campaign for a minute.
Oh, shit. I've just been fucking around this whole time.
Do you get serious about something, or are you just wandering?
You have those prestige that you can talk
You got a
about.
little bit of prestige. You could talk to Fafnir.
I don't even know what to do with that at this point.
Is there anything that you have left important to say to Fafnir?
No, not at the moment. I'm gonna climb the bookshelves again. Because that's the only way I can see over this shit.
I'm so appreciative to have people like remember lore from my campaign. Brennan, you are a gem.
And once I get to the top, I'm just gonna... I don't know. You want me to make a perception roll?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just scout around.
Let's see. It's
And you
pretty
said you were getting up on
good.
one of the ladders again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting up on the bookshelves again. I'm not climbing.
Oh, okay,
back.
just onto the bookshelves.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was
I've
reading chat
been
just a little
I've
bit there.
been told off for climbing on that shit.
No, they said you were very much allowed to climb the ladders. Just
Well,
move
I'm
at a
not gonna
reasonable
do it
speed.
if it's not fun. I can do math. Hold on. I'm gonna cheat at math.
Nobody can do that math in their head. They're using a calc. Chat,
Yeah.
calc, short for calculator, just in case you're new here.
36.
That meme just... 36. You get up top, you gaze about, you see a head poking up from the bookshelves like someone else was climbing. You make eye contact. It's a woman of some kind. Her eyes go wide and she ducks back down.
Is she like nearby? Or...
She's pretty close. Close enough that you were able to tell that it was some kind of... It was female looking at you, you know? You saw kind of like longer flowing hair.
Gonna call out to her. I don't know. Ask her name. I don't know.
Hey! What's
Nicely,
your
no-
name?
Sorry
hear back,
for whatever reference I just made. You asked nicely.
You don't know that meme?
No, I don't know what you guys are talking.
Whoa!
I'm uncultured. I know.
That's like one of
Bree.
the best internet videos. It's so fucking
I-
funny.
I'm barely on the internet. Sorry.
What do you do with your day? You don't doom scroll?
No.
Power to you. Yeah, like good job. Big ups.
No, I'm usually working on projects. Yeah. I know, crazy.
Projects.
You don't know what I do in my spare time.
That's exactly right. And I asked, and you gave like one of the most nebulous answers possible.
It's art.
Some could say I'm around.
Anyway,
People say I'm human.
this is another reference I'm not getting.
You know, you call out, you hear the shush back, she does not respond.
Okay, I'm gonna
Make your way that way.
make my way over. I'm trying to look as non-threatening as possible because apparently people don't like that here. I'm gonna make my way over to her.
You
wherever that's-
acrobatics across the tops.
Yeah,
Yeah, roll it.
I'm gonna eat shit on this one. Ooh. That is a solid 30.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you expertly hop across. You get to where she was and kind of like look down into that hall, and you see just the slightest glimpse of a figure going around. Something's off, but it was fast enough that you didn't catch much detail.
I'm gonna follow.
Start chasing.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you're hopping across and you go, and eventually you come to a top, and there is a young girl, and she seems to be found at a dead end of bookcases, and she's kind of looking both ways. She looks back, makes eye contact with you, and is at this point that you notice that she has wings like a bird,
Why are you shaking
white
your head?
feathers.
I knew who this was as soon as.
Okay.
And she kind of and she unfurls her wings and flaps them and goes to take to the air. You are close enough that you could intercept.
I don't want to be. Is this like a young girl or like?
Yeah, young, like 11, 13, you know, something like that.
I don't want to grab her. I'm gonna, hold my hands out placatingly, non-threatening. I'm gonna say, "Hey, I like your wings. They're really pretty." She's not gonna like that shit.
Not necessarily.
I hate this stupid town.
Yeah, we haven't been in like a true initiative for a little while. You guys been doing a lot of diplomacy or one-on-one combat, which we don't need them for.
Bored.
She takes the air, but she stops. She hovers for a moment and turns to look at you, and she goes, "Thank you."
I'm gonna go. My name's Rack. Will you tell me your name?
I'm not usually supposed to talk to strangers, but I think in this place it's supposed to be kind of okay. My name's Sophia.
No idea who this is. It's a pretty name.
Thank you. What? You're not one of the kobolds.
No, those guys are a little weird, aren't they?
Well, everybody has their oddities, I guess.
Fair enough. Are you here alone? Did you get trapped here?
I don't think I'm supposed to tell you any of that.
Is it forbidden knowledge? They warned me about that stuff.
Well, no, I haven't read any of the books or anything. It's just that, my uncle would be really upset if he caught me talking to people and saying information. It's supposed to be like a mission that we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, a mission. That's so cool. I'm actually on a mission too. Yeah.
What kind of missions do you go on?
Make you face it, I swear.
You're live?
I have no idea what's going on.
I know you do. That's why I said just live your life.
What was the last thing she said to me?
She asked you what kind of adventures you go on.
Big special adventures. Right now we're trying to save my friend's grandma from a sickness, hoping we can find the answer here.
Well, you've probably come to the wrong place, because if you find anything out here, you can't leave with it.
Yeah.
Unless you think that somebody here has the answers for you and it's not the book stuff.
That's
But
what we're hoping.
I couldn't imagine that you would have known that anybody would be here because they never leave once they go, and I'm supposed to leave relatively soon, but I'm helping my uncle find some other tomes right now.
Is that your mission, helping your uncle find tomes? That must be a really important mission.
Oh,
You must be really proud of yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
You guess. That sounds like an important job to me.
Well, he says it's important, and I don't know. I guess it's important. I don't really think that this is, I'm not really an adventurer. I'm just an intern.
You're just an intern? The fuck does that mean?
An apprentice, like at blacksmiths, they take on kids and teach them the trade.
What kind of apprentice are you then?
Well, are you from the mountains? Because you're a dwarf, right? Just
My family
maybe
was.
a little sick.
Yeah, my bitch. Just kidding. Yeah, you know what? This place makes me feel a little ill. No,
It's very confusing.
I'm from the Pirate Isles, right on the ocean.
Oh, okay. So you're a kind of bandit. You don't follow laws and stuff. Well, where I'm from on the mainland, if you have magic, you have to serve in the military. And when you develop the magic, sometimes you're really young, so they put you in apprenticeships. And so I'm apprenticing with my uncle and apprenticing to kind of be like an adventurer for the king, I guess.
That sounds so boring.
It's
What did you want to be before they made you an apprentice?
I don't know. I liked horses.
Man, horses are so cool. They kind of scared me since I'm so small, Maybe a pony, but
Well,
that's it for me.
but I kind of dreamed of, when I got bigger, dealing with horses.
Oh, you could deal with so many cool horses,
Well, I can't anymore because now I have my magic powers and I have to serve in the army. And they probably won't give me a horse because they just expect me to fly everywhere.
You should be able to have a horse. What if your wings get tired?
Well,
I bet your wings get tired.
My
sometimes.
family owns a bunch of horses.
They don't let you ride?
And when I get some time off and we go back home, I spend a little time with them, but I could never really, I couldn't be an equestrian,
You would be the best, though. I can tell. I'm a good judge of character. I can tell you'd be great at it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I feel like we could get to know each other very well. Sounded a little creepy. Regretting those words. So where's your uncle? What's he doing in here?
Well, I can't tell you that. That one's a secret.
Super secret stuff.
But I'm looking for tomes for him, and when I find them, I bring them, and I haven't found the ones that he really wants yet, it seems. But
Well, hey, what tones? Maybe I can help you look for them.
Oh, they're just like magic things. I've got a little list of things to look for, but it's okay. It's really just my thing. I would hate to take time away from you finding a cure for your friend's sick grandma. That sounds really important, and I'm not sure that what I'm looking for is important. He does very important work. Don't get me wrong.
Well, if it's not important,
when
why
I'm not
does he have you
interested,
looking for it? What is it?
I'm sure it's important. I'm sure it's very important. I don't understand.
Well, what is it? Like I said,
I can't read magic like he can, so I don't even really know. I just kind of have symbols to look for,
Who the fuck is this chick? I have no idea what to do with this child. Can I roll any kind of perception on her? I have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking children. Oh. What is that? This one again? Okay. That is 21.
Yeah. She has a very beautiful bracelet with charms on it. You do see that she has a long dagger sheathed on like a battle belt kind of deal. It looks like it was too big for her and she had to poke some extra holes in the leather to cinch it tight enough. She's very slight, but she keeps herself very clean, very pretty. What else could I say?
Does with her perception, does she notice a
What was your perception total again? It was
21.
21? Yeah, that's really all
is there
I can give you.
is there a ring or charm that looks familiar to
You have
Rack?
a beef with, wait.
She has mini charms on her bracelet, but you'd have to get closer to really inspect them.
No idea what to do here.
Are you gonna read tomes in the library? And stay here forever too?
Are you stuck here?
No. My uncle is. And I'm just helping him out for a while until he doesn't need me anymore, and then I'm gonna go fly and meet him somewhere else.
I'm not really into these books. I bet none of them have a happy ending. I'm into that fantasy kind of stuff. These all look like boring, scholarly.
A lot of it is history.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody has submitted works of fiction here, though. There's a lot of tomes that a lot of people have given over the years. I'm not quite sure how good kobold fantasy is.
I bet it's real interesting.
I'm not sure if it's worth giving up the rest of your life forever for,
Probably not. Probably not.
How do you plan on helping your friend's grandma if you're not gonna read any of the books here?
We were gonna try and find somebody who knew the knowledge and could help us get out of here. Like a secret guy.
So there is somebody here. Do you know who it is? I've met a couple of people.
Oh yeah, who have you met in here?
Well, Seymour, the kobold.
Ah, that guy.
He's kind of like he's kind of like a general manager guy. I think that he has a boss, but I haven't met him yet. I've met a lot of the attendants.
He wasn't the main boss. I just want to say that.
I knew he wasn't the manager.
That loser wasn't the manager.
Seymour's the assistant manager.
Not who I asked for.
But you said you didn't want to talk to the actual manager.
I said I didn't want to talk to the Sphinx, okay? Anyway.
Let's put the pieces together, Bree.
Could tell me that guy's a manager. I
I've met the
refuse.
Sphinx, and he's kind of weird. I haven't really talked to him since when we very first entered the library. It seems like he just kind of shows up when he wants to. I don't know.
So Seymour and the Sphinx, that's all you've seen in
a
here?
bunch of attendants, a bunch of the
Yeah.
other kobolds that are in here. A lot of them are very knowledgeable
You seen
on all
any
kinds of things.
any humans in here?
Besides me and my uncle?
Oh yeah, besides you two.
No,
No?
I didn't think there were any other humans here
Oh, the Sphinx
least
told
not
us
like-
there's a bunch of people.
right now. I'm sure that there's been plenty of people that have shown up. I recognize a lot of books written in common, and so I'd assume that those were written by humans and then collected here.
Are you gonna kill a child? What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Fuck, man. Okay. I'm gonna ask her, what did you and your uncle do before coming to this tower?
Oh, he works for the military.
Oh, that's
He does
important.
kind of special projects. We've been around. He makes big spells. He's like a magic. He's a wizard guy.
Wizard get like a magister or something like that, something crazy.
No, he's like a normal person.
Oh,
You know, he was born and everything. But he goes around. He works a lot with the dwarves, I think, from the Iron Mountains. Our people have been at war for a really long time, I guess. And he kind of works mostly on that front. But we went to the Great Plains
oh, that's exciting.
just for a brief moment. And I got to go once to Gwen's, the Magister. She's like the top mage. I got to go to her tower one time. But that was kind of like a scary thing. That was like a real war thing. Usually he's pretty far behind the lines, or if he goes towards the front lines, he doesn't take me, you know. But he took me and his other apprentice Chance that one time, and that was pretty scary. There was this big orc. He had a flail, and he was like charging my uncle, and so we ran.
Man. Have I been zoned out this entire fucking campaign? Do I not know shit?
Actually, you just showed up too late to know.
Okay. I'll throw you a bone. Rack has not met this individual.
I know that.
However, the things that the individual is saying.
We did have a conversation before stream. Was it last session or way back the session before that involved this individual?
Is it the child that we were talking about? The child from this thing?
What is this thing? Please enlighten stream that wasn't here for pre-stream.
Your family history or your family tree on your dad's side or whatever. Is that it? Is that it? Wow, which one was? Oh, that one. Yeah, that one. Fuck, right there. You're not killing this child. Fuck you.
Stop me.
Okay. Okay, I've got it now.
And the mentions of the big orc with the flail running at.
I connected that it was like somehow involving Oozle, okay?
Okay, I'm glad.
But I thought
Because when you,
the
because
child
like
was,
right after that was said, where you were like,
no,
"What am I missing?" I got real concerned.
I was connecting it. Okay, I swear to God, you told me that this child was like 5 years old.
No, her younger sister Cleo.
I knew a child. It's one child was 5. All right, so I found your fucking uncle. I found the bitch. Okay.
His cousin, not his uncle.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking that guy. This is stressful for me. I just threw my axe at stuff, okay? I'm not prepared for this. Fuck. I don't know anymore.
What other kind of adventures have you been on? You know, I told you a little bit about my adventures and with my uncle. I haven't really talked to anybody in a while now.
I like to think that like they're having this conversation, and then the child mentions like, yeah, the big orc like with the flail, and like Rack's eyes just like gloss over, and she has this like 1,000-yard stare before it's like,
Why are you looking at me like that?
it's really dark in here. You could see the light bulb.
our adventures, we've been some interesting places. We visited the Fey Woods. It was either for about a few weeks or a few days. Time is so crazy there.
I've heard that the huntresses are super dangerous.
They're super dangerous, but you know what? We met a huntress that was real nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard that they're also very beautiful and that sometimes they lure men into the woods to add them to their collections.
Only the mean men. Only the mean men who don't eat their vegetables eat your vegetables.
It's true.
We went to
Dad was right.
with your fucking dad.
Ooh.
Oh,
I thought it was just a bedtime story.
I thought that said dong instead of Doug.
Doug. My father was right. I thought they were just bedtime stories. He never said that he went to the Fey Woods.
No, all those.
He always
stories
just
true.
worked in the East. He worked on the Great Plains. He's in a big cavalry unit.
Oh yeah.
My whole family has a history in the military, I guess, and so it's kind of expected that I was going to serve, even if I didn't grow my wings. But I just never really had interest in that.
No.
No, not really.
No, you always you wanted to work with horses.
I just liked our horses.
Yeah.
In our estate, we have a big field and a big garden, and we own some land out in the country. And so when I got to go out there and watch the horses run, it was just really beautiful.
I bet. Yeah.
And then my dad, being in the cavalry, he rides a really big, strong horse. And he's kind of mean and temperamental, but it's just really cool,
Well, you know what, Sophia? It has been so nice talking to you. I feel like I can't have a good conversation with the friends I have. They're always fight, crazy.
Your friends are always fighting?
They always want to fight. They never.
It's really
talk.
sad.
That's crazy.
Sometimes my uncle is really mean to
Oh, no.
a lot of the people that work for him. But he doesn't really have friends,
That's
He
sad.
doesn't just hang out with people. It's always coworkers and stuff. Or me and Chance, but we're just apprentices.
Well, it must be hard since he's stuck here. He probably doesn't meet a whole lot of new people anymore, does he?
Well, he's stuck here now. Yeah, we haven't met anybody new since now I've met you.
Well, hey, I would love to meet your uncle. What? Come on, let's go meet him. Go introduce me. I'd love to hear more of your family stories.
Oh, well, I'm not allowed to just take new people to my uncle, but I'll go get him, and we'll come back here if you're okay with hanging out. He shouldn't be too far. I think I've learned the way.
You know what? That sounds great. I will wait here.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back. And then we could all hang out. I'll make sure he's in a good mood first. He can be a little mean sometimes.
That's not you.
But if you're
That's
used to that kind of thing with your friends, then maybe you could be friends with him too, because I've heard that sometimes being mean to your friends is how friends are.
Some people.
I was
just
never like
have
that with any of my
prickly
friends
heart.
from school, but
Some people just have a prickly heart.
some of the boys in my school were like that, where it seemed like they were all really mean to each other, but then they were like best friends. Boys are weird.
Boys are weird.
Okay, I'll go get him.
Okay.
You stay here.
Okay.
She takes off into the air and swoops away towards one of the far walls.
So how does the prestige work?
So you can spend 3 prestige for a minor boon or a guaranteed conversation with a god. There are also other things you could spend prestige on, but in this exact circumstance, I'm not sure if there's anything that really applies.
How would I get a call out to Oozle and the rest of them to get their asses over here?
How would you?
I have no fucking clue.
While you think of it, Oozle.
Hey, buddy.
Mark's been kind of putzing around the room. Are you just standing there staring into the distance Running your brain as fast as it'll go.
So
You running like Windows XP?
Yeah. There
You
was
got dial up.
Yeah, there was a very slow moving buffering wheel as Oozle pieces together all of what he just gathered from Smiles.
What did you gather from Smiles?
Well, I have gathered from Smiles that there is so in this, I don't know, grand scheme of what we have been doing, the quest that we have been set on, getting rid of the Mad King / thwarting the Baron's plans. What I have pieced together, and I hope I am right, or I guess kind of hope I'm wrong. The Baron has his own Godwoken, and this Godwoken is trying to ascend to godhood. Because the way that Smiles was like, I don't know, his whole, do you think you're the only one that has the idea to ascend to godhood, leads me to believe that that is the case. Now, that leads to more thought on the idea that the Mad King, whilst he does wear yellow boots, is not the Baron, but is his Godwoken. And this guy, or gal, is in some way, shape, or form attempting an ascension to godhood to either be another god on Baron's side, or by him achieving godhood would restore the Baron's godhood.
So the Baron's never lost his godhood.
he didn't lose his godhood, but he's been like...
But the other gods have exiled him.
Yeah, and because he's been exiled and like... simply put, like, name scrubbed from history books and all that, he's not getting like the worshippers that he needs to be almighty, powerful god.
Mighty God.
So yeah, that's the method of thinking right now. That I've pieced together from what Smiles has said. Yeah. So, back to the task at hand. I know that... Okay. I guess I should... Smiles didn't, like, reveal a... He did not, like, reveal a door or anything like I asked, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. I didn't.
No, he's not just bailing you out of this puzzle.
No. I didn't think so. So... I know enough about Chris to know that this dude wouldn't just, like, sacrifice himself to stay here. It's kind of a pretentious ass. So my thought is that this guy has a way out. So I think if I find him / the books that he has stored away, I will find the way out to escape with said knowledge. Because he's already figured it out for me. I just need to find him. It was really funny, though. it was really funny.
Mhm.
Start kicking sand into everyone's eyes. So yes, I think since like we're at where he's obviously been taking stuff, I think we should start looking for clues as to where to find this motherfucker. Yeah, that's what me and Mark are gonna do.
Okay.
What do you want?
Perception. Not very good.
It's a 14.
No new information is revealed as you and Mark continue hunting around this same room. I assume you stay here.
Mhm.
It's not too terribly long into it that Mark kind of gives up. And he starts just kind of doing random things. And he's like tapping on the floor. He pulls out his halberd and he's poking the ceiling and stuff. And he sits down in the chair and he like opens the desk and closes the desk and then opens it again and then closes it again while you're like really trying to get in the nitty gritty of like looking at the spines of these books and read and, you know, trying to find patterns for things, looking at your symbols and looking at the books, trying to match things up.
So no, I'm not looking for books. I'm looking for like, I don't know. Because like you said, like this
You're
area,
looking for like footprints.
yeah, you're like this. You said like this like
Yeah.
particular room / area wasn't like particularly dusty.
None of the rooms since you've descended to the labyrinth library
Gotcha.
have had dust.
Okay.
They are
okay,
well
okay.
attended.
Okay, tracking.
Oil lanterns contain oil. There are no squeaky wheels on the ladders. The books are in good order. However, not necessarily like sometimes there's like full volumes or whatever, but they're not necessarily
Ooh.
crazy well organized.
So we established that like as we've been looking around, there's been like occasionally like books that have like clearly been like misplaced.
Not necessarily clearly misplaced, but there are books that don't match.
You see that they don't match.
Yeah. It's like history of the Iron Mountains, and then somehow in there has found its way a history of the kobolds of the sand, like obviously not the same.
Okay.
Unless you crack it open and read it, maybe there's a reason why it's there. But that would curse you to stay here forever. Yeah. And it would be a rather minor historical nitpicky thing to look into to sacrifice the rest of your existence for.
Yeah, nah. I guess like the only real way that I could deduce trying to figure out where Chris is would be to try to find these, like if there's any books that are like
out of place on the shelf.
From what I can see, like out of place on the shelf, if I could like retrace like, okay, this book comes from like this area, and like try to like retrace,
start following back.
Yeah.
The big thing that I would need for this one, these are overwhelmingly tomes with magical insignias on them. I would need knowledge arcana.
I'm not trained in knowledge arcana.
Okay. You're gonna really struggle to piece something like that together. However, circumstance is on your side. You note that his Mark is just kind of putzing about the room, kicking at random things. He makes his way to the far end, and he kind of huffs and he leans against the wall. He falls straight through it.
Oh, dude, no shot.
The illusion dispels, and a tunnel appears. And he just kind of lays on the ground. He's like, oh, that fucking sucks.
Thanks, buddy. I'll pick him up.
yeah, you help him up, and he's just like, God, I hate illusions. Because there is another aspect here that you sussed out last session, but seem to have not mentioned yet this one.
Is the illusion ley line.
There is a ley line here somewhere, and you are very strongly assuming that it is the illusion ley line.
Huh. That's something I can ponder later. Yeah, we
The plot plays out as it plays out. Certain side quests open when certain doors close.
yes, I'm aware. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna draw my flail.
Yeah.
I will not draw my flail because I'm still halfling size.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You got your walking stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna explore
He kind of
this
dusts
tunnel.
himself off. There's no dust. It's actually still very clean. The tunnel is lit. It is well maintained. It is a little different from some of the normal hallways. You make your way down, and you run into a kobold. And he kind of stops, looks at you, and we do not believe you're supposed to be in these tunnels.
I was given free reign by the ones upstairs and the Sphinx that I could explore to my heart's content, but I cannot take knowledge.
We do believe that those are the Sphinx's rules.
Is there a particular reason why I shouldn't be down here? Wait, before you tell me. Is that hidden knowledge?
We do not believe so.
Okay.
It simply seems that the kobolds here are the only ones that utilize the tunnels. We haven't seen the others come through this way.
Wow, do these tunnels lead like throughout the whole shebang?
We are relatively new, but have found that these tunnels connect very nicely to many places here in the lower floors.
Okay.
It has helped us with getting around and finding more specific knowledges that we seek. Tell us, where did you come from? A specific room?
Yes.
What knowledge was hidden within?
Don't know, I didn't read anything.
Oh, did you wander into the room randomly?
No, I was actually looking for, and I'll pull out the rubbings of like, this is in the outside world, and I learned that this came from in here, and I am trying to figure out where it came from and how it got to the outside world.
Yeah, he kind of leans in and... Ah, mental magics.
Yes, that would make
Those are what you seek?
At this point, not necessarily. I'm looking for the one who leaked your guys' secrets.
Does this one have a name?
Seen any humans walking around? Besides this one.
Yeah, you point back to Mark and you just kind of like... They've gotten us with that a couple of times.
Yes, they have.
We have seen one going around. Have not had a conversation with that human.
Do you happen to know where he is?
You see the kobold's eyes kind of transfix and like he zones out for a little while. We do not currently know where he is. He does seem to avoid us as well as everybody else pretty decently. But we have caught glimpses, him and the girl.
Girl's with him, huh?
Yes, there is a female with him.
About...
Were you led to the room that you had came through? We are sorry, but we are looking for places we have not been yet.
Yes, we were led by Seymour.
Ah, yes, we know of Seymour.
A nice guy.
Of course. He didn't say what room it was that he was leading you to.
No, he said that it was for the mental magics. He said that's where...
It is a room of mental magics.
Yes.
And if we follow this hallway here behind you, it leads back to that.
Yeah, I don't think we took any turns.
We thank you kindly. The kobold seems to end the conversation there and go to walk past you and Mark.
I want to give you 2 rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a sense motive
Yeah.
on this kobold, and I want to give a spellcraft.
Okay.
Because the way that he, like, zoned when I asked about Chris,
Yeah.
specifically when we're talking about mental magics, I think Chris put something on this guy that made it to where he won't reveal the location of this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give the spellcraft first. What was that?
Huh?
What the fuck was that?
Spellcraft first.
That's not great. 15.
It's hard to say. You never had a good relationship with Grugnug and never really figured him out. Sometimes, you know, when people are looking back in their memories, they can kind of stare off, waffle around. You have also actively seen spells, you know, memory wipe style stuff or controls type spells that can produce a similar look in someone's eyes. It could also be that perhaps the kobolds here have a way of communicating with each other, and maybe he was checking up with
Well, I know
group.
that's a lie because we were told that there's no... The communication magic is a no-no.
Yes, you've been told that.
So...
I would gently like to point out that I lie to you frequently.
Shit.
When in character,
You fucking right.
NPCs do have reason to lie to you guys.
You right. You right.
And so perhaps Seymour did not want you to have that information, or perhaps he was telling the truth. I'm just simply saying that you are making an assertion based on something that a character said that you met
Yes.
an hour ago.
Yes.
You know?
All right.
Okay.
But I mean, I do know that like our sending stones aren't working.
Yeah, sending stones don't work. You don't have access to like a message spell or anything like that. You have seen those in use, and that can produce a similar look in their eyes. For a 15, that's all I can really give you.
That's fair. My sense motive though is a 34.
Yeah, he's weird.
But
what
no
kind
like
of...
overt like deception coming from this guy.
No overt deception, no like tell. Once again, your DC is going to be high. You are not an expert on kobolds.
Yeah. All right. Listen. I wasn't the only one. Anyways. Damn.
But there was something, and I see that you as Marquise, you've caught on that there was something weird about this guy. And with that kind of sense motive, I can 100% say there's something weird about this guy.
I am not a stealthy boy.
Clank, clank, clank. Tiptoeing behind this kobold.
Yeah, I'm not a stealthy guy. So
You could just turn and follow him.
I mean, like, yeah, but with how... You know what? Fuck it. I'll follow him. I am going to lay on hands myself a bunch.
So you're above 1 hit point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll say...
You can be rolling those
Yeah.
for a little bit right now.
Yeah, essentially, I have many a ways to replenish my lay on hands.
Well, you'll still have to roll it because
Yeah.
you're not resting just yet.
Yeah.
And when we come back next week, Rack, perhaps you'll find a way to contact Oozle and the crew.
God's willing.
Oozle, perhaps you and Mark will find out what's so strange about this kobold, or what Smiles was talking about to you. Perhaps we'll find out what Alia's been up to for the past, 3 hours now at this point, as she ran out of breath and stopped following you guys way long ago.
God,
But that is something for next time on Mad King. Guys, thank you for tuning in
Gotta work on her
and
cardio.
hanging out. she rolled a 3 on her fucking con save.
I was wondering, because you rolled,
Yeah.
and you made like the ooh face, and I was like, I don't like that. But all right,
Guys, join us Monday for My Hero Academia Dungeons & Dragons, A Gruesome Tale. Join us next Wednesday as we continue Mad King. And I don't know, maybe we'll do some gaming this weekend or something.
Perhaps.
I'm staying in town. I got some here-theres to do, but I'll be online.
for sure. We'll see.
Thanks for hanging out. Good night.
Bye bye.